Hey, what's up guys? Mac here from We Are the Retro Gamers. Again, it's been a long time since we put out our last video. Life happens, you know, we get sidetracked with things come up, and projects get put on hold. But I'm here today to kind of reminisce. I was thinking about it, and I was listening to Spotify and just looking for some playlists, and then I heard a song and I was like, are you kidding me? And I'm just like, you know, you hear that one song and you start going into other songs and everything like that. For me, it was more so thinking about, what was I doing? I was looking for like house music, and I came across one of the songs, and it was like a complete throwback to when I used to sit in the living room playing Nintendo or Sega. You know, we had a regular Nintendo, and we had the NES, and then we had the Genesis. And pretty much we had like the second version of Genesis, and I just remembered, like, it was just like I had a flashback, like I was just back in the living room as a kid playing freaking Mega Man, Super Mario, Marvel Madness, and the song that I heard was by the artist Everything But the Girl, the song Missing. And I'll play a little sample for you. And that's the sample. And I'm sure you're like, oh yeah, if you're old enough to remember. So that's the song I heard. And when I was growing up, where I grew up in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania. We had a station called, it was B104, and they pretty much played like all the pop, the pop music that was at the time. So it was Everything But the Girl came on my Spotify playlist, and I just remember sitting in the living room playing Mega Man. That particular song, it reminds me of when you're fighting Cutman. So you can get the, the scissors on your head, and you can throw them. So that's what it reminded me of, and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. So I just started making a playlist, and that kind of what inspired me to make this video. Was like, I'm like, let me do a video of like songs that I remember I was playing as retro, playing these retro games. Now retro, then not so retro. The other song was Rhythm is a Dancer by Snap. And that one is, I'll do a little sample again. Rhythm is a dancer, it's a source companion. People feel it everywhere. Rhythm is the dancer. That again was another song I listened to throughout playing, Mega Man, because just like any other radio station, they really haven't changed much. It's a bunch of ads, and then it's the same like 10 songs on repeat, really. So I have I only have some songs on here because, like I said, it's just literally a repeat. That's all the radios ever did. So Rhythm was a dance, or is a dancer. That was another one I remember, precisely playing Mega Man, listening to while playing Mega Man. The other song, now this one was Mortal Kombat. This one, yeah, because I still remember hearing, I can still see myself playing on the TV. We had a big old Zenith TV in the living room. And I remember playing Mortal Kombat, and I always played as Sub-Zero because I had just found out how to do the fatality where you uppercut and you rip the spine out. And the level is like where those two monks are standing side by side with those like fox masks, and then you have the crowd behind you. But the song I was listening to was Mr. Vane by Culture, and that's this song right here. And another one, It's funny because the name of the song and the title and how the song goes does not mesh well with Mortal Kombat, but it was by the group Chemical, and it was Be My Lover. And that's this one. And it was just a catchy song. But yeah, that one definitely I remember playing. And even to today, with Mortal Kombat X and the Mortal Kombat that came out on the PS or the PS Vita, where you got to play as Freddy Krueger. That one I even, that came out on PS3 also, but and Xbox. But I played it on the Vita, and even then I only played from back then to today. I only play as Sub-Zero primarily. Then when I'm tired of Sub-Zero, I do Scorpion, and then from Scorpion I'll go to Liu Kang. Those are the three main characters I play as with any Mortal Kombat game. So yeah, another song that I heard was by the group called Real McCoy, and it's called Runaway, and this is how it goes. And that one, that one was Marble Madness. Marble Madness was my mom's game, actually. Well, technically, none of the games were ours. But yeah, definitely Marble Madness. That was the game my mom would kick us off just to play for herself. But yeah, that one, and of course, along with that one, was Ace of Base, and it's primarily these three Ace of Base songs. There was Sign. There was Wheel of Fortune. What you gonna tell your dad? It's like a wheel of fortune. What you gonna tell your dad? And then there was Beautiful Life. Oh, it's a beautiful life. Those songs from Ace of Base primarily were listened to while playing Marble Madness and Super Mario Brothers. But yeah, so those were pretty much the songs that took me back to my childhood when I was playing those video games. I mean, nowadays, we got more advanced systems and everything like that, but I still like the old school systems. I mean, it could be, I don't know if it's just this nostalgia, or just it was just fun for me. The gameplay and style was more challenging today, or more challenging then than they are today. For example, Super Mario Brothers can take forever to beat, but Call of Duty you can beat in a couple hours, the campaign mode. And the same thing with like the Rainbow. Pretty much all games really consistent today are Tom Clancy, Rainbow Six, or Ghost Recon, Call of Duty, Halo. And Halo not even that much anymore, really. Halo's pretty much fallen off. I mean, pretty much after Halo 3, I was kind of like, yeah, no more Halo. I started playing Halo 5 on Xbox One. I couldn't get too into it. But, the last Halo game that I played and beat was Halo ODST. Now, that one did take me a little longer to beat because I played it for a little while, and then I stopped, and then a couple of months went by and I picked it back up again, and I was completely lost, so I had to start a new file. But nonetheless, my point is, I think more so with the retro games, they were more challenging, they took longer to beat, and you pretty much got your dollar's worth with them, opposed to buying a $60 game that you're going to beat in a couple hours. Why? Because I can't even talk. The primary function of it is online multiplayer. Like, nah, I miss the days like where you had to go to your buddy's house and bring your controller from home and go to your buddy's house and you could play with them, doing that. Or even with like the Xbox, with the original Xbox and the 360, you had LAN parties where you all brought your systems and you all connected to each other. and it was a social experience. Like, you were socializing. I mean, now, yeah, you got online multiplayer, but it's a bunch of 12-year-olds screaming into a headset, saying your mom and crap like that. So, I don't get it. Also, you gotta pay for the in order to do multiplayer, you gotta pay a subscription. And that's kind of why I didn't disown Sony, or PlayStation for that, because that's the whole reason why I got PlayStation instead of Xbox, because Xbox had the gold, silver, whatever memberships that you had to pay for in order to even get any online content, really. To even use Netflix, you need to have a gold membership, which is a little ridiculous. With the PlayStation, I mean, you didn't need it. When you had PS3, you didn't need to have PlayStation Plus. It was just a perk. You got discounted games and you got 2 free games a month. That was what you got for having PlayStation Plus. Online multiplayer was part of the game feature that you didn't have to pay for. It wasn't until within the last year or two that now to play multiplayer you have to have a PlayStation Plus subscription, and that's kind of that's pretty much why I got rid of my PlayStation, really, because the games that I got for it, or the games that were interesting enough to me, I was beating them within hours of just buying them. And that's not the case with the retro games. I mean, I've bought my retro games, and hell, I haven't beaten any of them, really. Wait, I lied. I beat... Well, you can't really beat those games. I was gonna say, I beat, Street Fighter, but that's a fighting game. It's kind of like Mortal Kombat, where you just, fight up the ladders. But even that in itself is more challenging than the games that you get today. Super Mario Bros. Mario takes forever. That's a game you have to play straight through because there's no saving in it. So that's a game you literally have to play straight through and leave the console on, go to bed, wake up and play it again, continue playing. So, yeah, that's all I got today, really. I kind of went off on a little rant and lost track of time. But yeah, I want to ask, what are songs actually that reminds you of games that you've played? It could be recent, it could be retro, whatever, man. Put it this way, games that you played as a kid. What songs remind you of games that you played as a kid? Because I'm sure we're all different ages and everything like that. But nonetheless, and I just smacked my microphone, so you're gonna hear a nice click. Till then, guys, take care, enjoy, and again, let us know what songs remind you of games you played when you were younger.